Hello and welcome to the Big G video podcast. This is yet another episode and I'm going to talk about AI video because it's all the rage. It is really good, but I think people have a little bit of a misconception about AI video. I think people think it's easy, and it is not easy. In fact, nothing is easy with AI. Now, that is quite a strong statement, that nothing is easy with AI. And I want to quantify that and I want to explain that. So you can make AI videos, and that's not videos where there's stock footage and TTS voiceover. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual AI stuff where you've got an actual scene and you've effectively created it with text. Now, there is an AI film contest where you can make short films and enter them into a contest. Now, surprise, surprise, that is run by a company who has an investment in AI. That's run by Runway ML. Now, Runway ML is one of the softwares I'm going to talk about in a moment. But let's start with AI images. They are a good way to make an AI film. So if you have an image, you can animate it with things like Runway. So you use it as your initial idea and you animate it. There's also Kyber as well, which is quite good. Now, when you make your AI videos, you're going to get maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds. You're not going to have a consistent scene. So you have to design your film or your short film to go from sort of multiple scenes. And when you're moving through multiple things, having a consistent character is going to be quite tricky. But let's say you first start with an AI image. Well, I use AI images quite a lot, and I've actually made videos where I've done green screen and I've populated the background, and it's been something I couldn't make myself. It's been somewhere I couldn't go myself, so I used an AI image generator. And for every sort of image that I've got, I've probably generated it 5 or 6 times to get different iterations, because one time the hands might be wrong, it might just not look right, it might be the wrong sort of spaceship, it might be a spaceship that doesn't quite make sense, i.e. It sort of has no cockpit, or things like that. You look at it and you think that's almost right, but it's not correct. So you end up regenerating it several times. So for each picture you use, you probably generated 5 to 6 that you've thrown away for whatever reason. Then you're going to put your AI picture into either an upscaler, and then once you've upscaled it, you're going to sort of animate it. Now, you can use Kyber. So you can upload your image and you can describe what you want to happen. That's how Kyber works. Or you can use something like Runway ML, where you upload the image and you say, I want this bit to move. So if you've got a boat in the sea, you can animate the sea. That's very useful. But again, you've got to go through a couple of iterations before you get the text that gives you exactly what you want. You've got to experiment. You've got to fiddle about with the randomness, how creative the AI is, etc. And you might just have to regenerate something several times. So 6 images to get one that's good. You're probably going to do another 6 video generations to get maybe 9 seconds. So if we think about this, if we think I want to make, I don't know, like a Star Wars scene, there's no way I can do that. I can't build a model easily. I could build a model, but it would take me a long time and a lot of cost. I can't really do anything in something like Unreal Engine. I can't Photoshop it myself, but I can go to an AI software, get an image, and then I can animate that in other AI software. But for one scene of 10 seconds, I've had to make 6 images at least, and I've had to have 6 goes of video. Equally, with things like Kyber, I could film myself and then I could transform myself into an alien. But again, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I will be an alien, but I'm not the alien I want to be, if that makes sense. So again, you are forever going through things. So you have the possibility to make a short film about absolutely anything you want. However, you can do that just on your standard computer very easily but you will waste a lot of resource. You will throw a lot of stuff out just because it's not right for whatever reason. AI avatar software, which this channel sort of specializes in, can sometimes not look correct as well. So if I just want a video of someone speaking, it's actually easier just to type out the text and pick an AI avatar to do it. And I've actually found, because I use something called Speech Key and I've cloned my voice, sometimes it's actually easier for me to type something out rather than record it. I'm not going to do that with this podcast, but it can actually be quicker and easier to do that. And it sounds like me and no one can tell the difference. So AI, everyone thinks is great, and it is great for certain applications, but I don't think people realise the time and effort that they would have to put in to get something useful and consistent. Now I'm going to come back to AI because I want to talk about the videos I've released this week. So we are in February. So I think this week I have released, let me just have a look. I've released lots of videos this week. I've been really quite busy. So I have done, I suffer from this thing where when I get an idea, I do lots of things on it. So I've recently been doing a lot on wireless microphones, and this comes in stops and starts. I'll buy like the Rode, a couple of years ago I bought the Rode Wireless Go and I did a few videos on it, and then I bought another one and I did comparison videos. So I bought a £10 wireless mic set for iPhone. It has 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, and it's £10. It's got a charging case. Fantastic. It's actually now £6. I've seen it for £6, and I did a review of that. I also did a review of the Hohem Mic 1 because although I've got the USB-C version, I went and I bought the Lightning version as well for iPhone, and I'm actually recording this podcast using that at the moment. And initially it sounds quite good, but when I listen to it or listen to the output with really good headphones, I can hear quite a lot of sort of noise and hiss in the background. So I think it's fine for social media, but well, check out my review if you know, and you might be able to hear it in the background if you've got very good earphones. With AirPods, you can't hear that noise. And I made a video about the best software for making educational videos, and they're all under $70. So that's Doodly, Toonly, Create Studio 3. I compare all of them for sort of making school videos, simply because someone asked me a question and I thought, I think I can make a quick video on that. It wasn't quick to make, but I made it anyway, just to be helpful. So that's what I've done this week. Of course, members to my channel get early access and get a shout out in the videos as well. So let's go back to AI videos. So we've talked about making sort of your little short film exactly how you want, etc. The other way to make AI videos is to use services where you type something, it finds stock and it talks it. And I think those are really quite boring. Anyone can do them. They're difficult to make them engaging and interesting. Any sort of stock video is really difficult for that. There are sites, well, there are services, and Jupiter I think is one of them, where you do a talking head video and then you run it through Jupiter, and at certain points it puts in B-roll for you. That makes things more interesting. That's a good use of AI. And just stock and talking, unless you have to make videos, I think they're a really boring thing to do. And to be honest, when you customize them to make them maybe more engaging, you spend the same amount of time as if you just went out and filmed it yourself. So I've reviewed Wisecut before. Now, Wisecut is an AI editing platform, and what I found with Wisecut, it does chop your video up, it does get rid of ums and silences, but you've got so many jump cuts in it, and that's not very good. So you sort of think, I'll hide the jump cuts by using B-roll, but it's so much more difficult to go in and just add B-roll to it. And by the time you add B-roll, and by the time you think, oh, actually, I've made a mistake there, I need to take that out, you would have been better off just editing it normally. Again, it's great. If I didn't care and I wasn't so finicky or perfectionist, I could just do it with Wisecut and say, oh well, video's made, it has, it's a bit ugly, but there we are, I've made it. If you were having to push out videos really quickly and you didn't sort of care because the quantity that you had to push out was the key thing, then something like Wisecut or those video services that you type it out and it uses stock footage and talks over it, they're great. But we're not quite there yet, even with things like InVideo. I'm not sure it's there yet. But, do let me know what you think. Am I completely wrong on AI? Do you disagree? I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.